Now, with the granting of medical parole to the former president, the state of South Africa's prisons has again been thrust into the spotlight. According to official figures, COVID-19 has claimed the lives of about 20 inmates inside South Africa's prisons. There are claims of PPE shortages and a lack of social distancing having exacerbated the problem. So, how do we deal with this problem of poor infrastructure in prisons? Chris Nissen is a commissioner at the South African Human Rights Commission and joins us now to discuss this. Commissioner, thank you so much for making time. It looks like we continue to see these infrastructure failures in our prisons. Are you aware of this as the Human Rights Commission?
Yes, indeed. We, as part of the Human Rights Commission's mandate, is obviously to monitor and to make sure that the place of custody are being kept in line with Section 115 of Chapter 2 of the Constitution as to how you have to deal with offenders and detainees. We visited that center, and we have there's a special program within the country called the National Preventive Mechanism. And we've been visiting a number of centers around the country in all provinces, and we've seen that in some centers, because of its old, aged infrastructure and needs to have repairs and all of those and maintenance. And we've also seen some new, beautiful correctional centers, as what we call the new generation. But the last time we were at the center, we had a problem with the kitchen, and when we went back, we started seeing that they're beginning to deal with the issues of the aged infrastructure. And I believe there is money made available. I believe that will, as we're told, that will really do the upgrade and maintenance of the centers.
How far is that going to go? And also, how many centers are in this particular state where there are just infrastructure failures and the state of the facility is pathetic? And how much of that money and how far is it going to go in fixing the problems in various facilities?
Look, we haven't had many new facilities built in the last 15, 20 years, and many of the facilities that are there are really old facilities. Some of them are more than 50, 60, 70 years old. And in our discussions with the leadership of the correctional services, they are very clearly committed to ensure that they will continue to upgrade and build new centers. However, there's another problem, and that problem is obviously that the many government departments face, and that is the relationship between the Department of Public Works and the tenant department, in this case, the Correctional Services Center. And indeed, we were informed that there will be serious attention to these centers that are falling apart and the aged infrastructure. We went a month ago. We went to Ladysmith because last year when we were there, we saw some serious problems, and we could see on our second visit there were some improvements. So what we do is, as the South African Human Rights Commission / NPM, National Preventive Mechanism, we engage the leadership and we engage them, and we also send them recommendations as to how best they can improve.
Yeah. I'm just thinking here about the timelines. Have they given the timelines? Because what I'm hearing from you, Commissioner, is that there are promises that are being made, funds that are being committed. But what are the timelines so that we're able to, on that deadline, go back to the authorities and say, this is what you promised to do by this time, and this is where you are, and why haven't you gotten to where you committed you would be at this period?
Well, we understand that, government processes work very slow, and at times we have to engage them and say, give us time frame. Tell us when we come back what will happen. Will this change or will that change? And again, the same story we hear is that, well, we are dependent on public works. But we were given the assurance that a number of the centers that there will be upgrades and maintenance. And indeed, we have seen in some of our visits, when we do a return visit to those centers, we have seen an improvement, but still unacceptable, the way the aged infrastructure is being neglected.
And this affects the rights of prisoners, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the Constitution is clear about how offenders should be treated. Obviously, their rights are limited in terms of the incarceration, that they are there through a legal process because of crimes committed. But at the same time, it must be a safe environment, it must be a healthy environment. It must ensure that they get meals and access to health facilities as well.
All right. Thank you so much. Chris Nissen is with the South African Human Rights Commission.